Welcome. Now, before we get into tonight's episode, we do have some announcements to get through, beginning with our sponsor for this evening, Ravensburger, and their brand new game, Horrified: Dungeons & Dragons Ravenloft. Now, if you've ever wanted to step straight into the dread realm of Barovia, like we all do, now's your chance. In Horrified D&D Ravenloft, you and your team of heroes must survive the horrors of Strahd van Zarovich, the Carrionet, Baba Lysaga, and even the Gulthius tree. Each creature brings its own unique challenge, so you'll need strategy, teamwork, and a steady nerve to defeat them, but be warned, along the way you'll be tempted by dark gifts that might help you win, or doom you entirely. This is a cooperative strategy game where you and your friends face iconic D&D monsters, solve unique challenges, and work together to save Ravenloft, maybe. With beautifully illustrated components, sculpted miniatures, and even a custom D20, it brings that full D&D energy right to your game night. So, check out rav.wiki/crhorrified2 to get Horrified Dungeons & Dragons Ravenloft today at Target. And don't forget to check out our Horrified Dungeons & Dragons Ravenloft Everything is Content episode, premiering Tuesday, July 21st at 7 p.m. Pacific on Beacon, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you to Ravensburger for sponsoring this episode. Now, we just had our Berlin live show last week, and the Early Access VOD is now on beacon.tv. We're heading to Edinburgh next, with the Early Access VOD hitting Beacon on Tuesday, July 21st. And also in Berlin this week, our localization partner Pegasus Spiele held a fantastic Daggerheart gameplay event celebrating the launch of the German edition of the Daggerheart core set. We are so excited for more people to be able to play this game. And if you're in the States, San Diego Comic-Con will have Daggerheart games being played during July 23rd all the way to the 26th, so see their event schedule for more details. Laura, what are you up to?
We're so excited to be back in the halcyon domain of the Age of Umbra. You can rep Umbies with our new Age of Umbra, Umbies dad hat. A black dad hat with Umbies embroidered in a super cool heavy metal style font. Blah. Designed by Elena Harris. It's pretty sick. And we have a t-shirt featuring art by Anthony Jones, aka Robot Pencil. And for all your rollies needs, we've got a brand new duality dice set. These gorgeous rhombic D12s come in contrasting colors and are designed to pair with your favorite dice sets, instantly transforming them into Daggerheart-ready duality dice. Go grab yours now at the Critical Role shops. Also, Insight Editions is publishing the art and making of Daggerheart. This deluxe art book is written by Kelly Knox and features exclusive interviews with the creators of Daggerheart, outlining the journey of the game from its origins through its launch. You'll find concept art, character sketches, designs left on the cutting room floor, and so much more. Pre-order the art and making of Daggerheart at insighteditions.com/Daggerheart. Matthew?
Well, that's all of our announcements for tonight. So let's get back into this episode of Age of Umbra, Sallowlands. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Age of Umbra. Here we have a troupe that has slowly come together on some interesting, familiar purpose, drawn to the south, to the
long, dried lake bed that is now a dust-salt expanse known as the Sallowlands. There are rumors and stories of a mysterious, vibrant, gargantuan metropolis that has appeared out of nowhere, that seems to call to all those seeking hope the first true sign of something glorious in a century. And every enduring in this landscape to some degree has an opinion on what it means and what it promises. For your respective reasonings, you trek together in that direction, passing through the rotten shallows, the northern side of this sunken, dried, expansive lake bed. These dotted marshlands themselves filled with a foul stench and fume, rocking your senses as the bugs irritate you. You encountered a legendary entity from the old world, its mind broken from the loss of the old gods and a disconnect from its own reality. It tore through a troop of wandering Templars and Exemplars. You managed to sweep in time to keep one alive, and in the midst of the fray, an odd connection from this elderly Galapa, Cagauma, opening yourself to be seemingly devoured by a terrifying creature. Instead, you found a moment of empathy and broke through its fractured presence, and for a brief instant reminded it what it was. In its panic, it withdrew and left your troop safe. In that you had made seemingly an ally, the survivor, a Templar Bowen, a young and up-and-coming knight of the Twilight Exemplars, the only survivor of his troop, who requested your understanding as you helped him collect the bodies of his compatriots and burn them before the Soul Blight could return them to a terrifying, undead aftermath. A brief prayer was said as you gathered your belongings and continued to trek south towards the outer edge of the marsh. So here we pick up. I ask you, do you continue on? Do you wish to rest here? The night is fresh. The sun came to rest maybe in the past couple hours, but it is night.
Do we feel like it will come back once it regains its senses?
I feel that, just as I am shaken by our encounter, it will not come back, at least for a few hours. I do believe we must rest. I'm worried about your arm and your shot wound.
I'm fine. It's bleeding profusely.
You have a hole through your chest.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Poor Badger's still got an arrow inside.
Badger.
Let's rest.
Yes.
This large fire will probably be a great distraction. It'll bring many other creatures of the night around. We can use it to our advantage.
As Templar Bowen goes, all right, so let us take a rest around the burning corpses of my companions.
We can go a little further.
Just a little bit.
It's like, no, if anything, it'll help bring me closure. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not. But as you circle back from the initial trek back to the low light crackle of the pyre, you all settle in for, is this a short or a long rest?
Short. I was gonna say long.
Wait, I'm kind of down for either. I'm not. The idea of a long rest doesn't really. It depends on how far we go from the fire, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, do we know how far the journey is to
You mean
the towers?
the distance is hard to tell from just the low light and the travel you took. You could ask.
Yeah, Rowan.
It's like, I wasn't the navigator, actually. I know the direction we're going, and as far as I can recall, I've not returned from this northern direction before. I assume it's maybe if we keep pushing on the better part of a day?
I think we should take a long rest.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep peacefully. Yes.
Yes.
Away from the roaring fire of bodies. Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that if we all need to long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Long is good.
Well, if we've decided that, then I'm going to search around the area and see if I can find any plants or herbs or anything that I know that are good for healing.
Sure. I'd say go ahead and make either an instinct or knowledge roll for me, if you don't mind, to seek the environment. If anything catches your eye is useful.
15?
15 with?
Hope.
With hope? Great.
Nice.
Take a hope. You glance around, and this marshland, especially this patch that you're exiting from, is kind of the last heavy bastion of the muck. But in that area, a lot of unique life finds purchase and springs anew. On a nearby fallen log itself, like heavily moss-coated itself, rotted within it, as you press upon it, elements of it crumble just at the lightest push. But that heavy state of decay also brought around what's called ivy moss. It's this bright white patch of like gentle moss that only seems to attach itself to and thrive on things on the very tail end of its decay cycle.
I haven't seen this in so long.
So you acquire some ivy moss, which you can, it's a consumable that you can eat to immediately gather a hope.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. It's hopeful moss.
Flip this over then.
So you can take 2 downtime moves if you're taking a long rest. Options include you can tend to all your wounds, clear all your hit points. You can clear all of your stress. You can repair all of your armor. Or you can prepare, which means you can gain a hope. If you pair with somebody else, you gain 2 hope. Does anybody wish to keep watch?
I would like to keep watch. Also, can prepare include asking questions?
Of course, yeah.
Beautiful. Then I will. Can I prepare and keep watch?
You can do those, and those will be your 2 moves. Yes,
I
you
shall
may.
do that then.
2 of the following moves, so we do 2 of those things.
You
yes?
do 2 of them.
Okay.
I'm down to prepare as well.
Except for you,
Yeah.
which can do 3 because you're enough.
Great. I'll prepare with anyone as well.
Yeah.
I do want to know, are we staying by the fire, or are we outside of, like, the fire? Because, like, do we have...
I know, yeah.
Because we would have campfire blindness to everything else that's around us. I would feel better if we were a little bit farther in the
away.
dark.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say that.
All right. So as you withdraw from the crackle of the flames, it still sits over there as a
Yeah, we
nice
can see it.
draw and distraction. What little bit of warmth it does offer at this distance is welcoming, even though it doesn't present the safety of a sacred pyre.
This smells a bit better further away.
Also that. Yeah, definitely.
I'll prepare with you, Laura, if you're preparing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. So you both gain 2 hope.
Prepare with me. Yeah. Would you mind preparing and asking questions to Bowen?
Yeah.
All right.
I can do
Yeah.
that.
Asking questions doesn't take a move.
Oh.
You can just
Just
talk too.
Talk.
great. Fantastic. And then I have to keep watch, which means I have to roll a dice. Or are we still?
We'll do that at the end of the long rest.
Okay. Hi.
So you all settle in for the night. You gather your comforts, those of you that carry some, the smell and scent of this marsh itself. You get as used to it as you can, but it still stings the inside of your nostrils. The occasional blowing of a gust of wind gets stronger, more kind of acrid scents. But there is still a calm to it, and the sound of the insects fades with the wind. And it's just the 7 of you, including Badger, kind of quietly looking into the dark or looking into each other as you find solace in your preparation.
I'm going to sit in front of you, Mercy, and I'll reach forward and touch the talisman that I had given you earlier. It helped.
Yes. It did. And as you do that, you can see me also like putting this bag of body parts that I was carrying with me and like kind of splaying them open. Do you mind?
Do what you must.
I begin using my knuckle blades to tear open the flesh of an arm. As I pull the arm and put it on my weak arm, you see the fungal sort of begin eating the moisture of the flesh as my arm becomes back to itself. And I begin placing these different pieces of decayed meat on me and on my jaw as my body absorbs its moisture and elements of death and life and comes back to me looking very fresh.
Yes. The magic sustains an unexpected benefit.
It's wondrous. A blessing and a curse.
Yes. Again, I'm sorry, Mercy, for everything.
There is nothing to be sorry about. You gave me life. Purpose.
Of course. As I reach forward, a small swirl of shadow is going to come off my fingers and settle into the talisman that I gave you earlier. And I'm giving you 3 more.
Charges.
Yes.
Amazing, thank you. I kind of, as I take it in, I look to you and I never asked, why were you traveling? When I went to home, they said you had left. In my excitement, I only cared for my goal, not yours. I never asked you, why were you traveling?
The sisters are falling still. They speak so little. Our home is not like this. We have no water, nothing to sustain. We cannot help those who come to us. You were the last. I seek the city to find the magic, bring it home. Although I do not know if it will work.
I have faith.
Where does it come from?
And you can see me looking at my hands. I do not know what these hands did before I became me. But something told me that I would have a second chance, and with that second chance, I will do good. Hope comes from that.
Your hands nurtured. I touch your jaw. You are beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to step away and walk towards the fire.
I'm going to sit with that as well.
Cagauma, you're gonna take watch, correct?
Yes.
you'll see Alphonse makes his way over to kind of watch the fire and the area around it as well. As he lines up shoulder to shoulder with you. As he gazes into the burning bodies in the distance. What you did today was incredibly dangerous. You traveled across all of these lands. Doing what? That?
No. I've always been rather afraid. You can see Cagauma staring at the burning bodies and a hint of a recent memory lingering in their eyes. Osha. She was really, really brave. And I had to destroy her body, just like young Bowen over here is doing right now. And in her last moments, she believed in me. She believed that I had it in me to be brave, to face my own shadows, as I face the shadows that hunt us. But I can't. She is now part of these shadows, and I loved her so much. So while I am scared, so very scared of the shadows that hunt us, I also know she's there, loving me the way that I loved her. So, if anything, she's the one pushing me to do this.
As the fire illuminates my skull, you try to get a discernment of what I look like underneath it, and it falls into harsh shadow. We take a moment to process kind of what you said. We've all lost someone in this world, Cagauma. Everyone I have met that endures this darkness has lost someone. But what you did back there, that is not how we save people from the Umbra. That thing, that creature, it's gone. Corrupted. How many people has it killed since the old world? We had a chance to stop it. And now, some other party, some other bandits, a company of marauders now have to face it.
You didn't see what I saw.
Was it the old world?
Yes.
If you want to see the product of the old world, look around. I have no hope for what was before this. I have hope that one day mortal kind will adjust to what it is and not hold on to prayers, devotion, judgment, and realize this is the world. And so when something like that approaches me and I have the opportunity to save someone else's life down the line, I'll take the shot.
I stare deeply into this skull, this mask that clearly is hiding something. And I sympathize. I can get it. And I say, I understand. I cannot die. I refuse to die and become the thing that hunts us. So I will stay alive until I can figure something out that will cure this. And believe in the good, always, even if it's hard. But I see you. I understand where you are coming from. And perhaps this creature will hunt others. But right now, it's not hunting us.
I continue to stare into the crackling flames. Do you think they'll think the same thing?
I think they will.
Tell that to the burning bodies. And I'll turn around and start walking away.
I stare at the burning bodies. I'm thinking about Osha and how devastating it was to see her die, to know that her soul was, regardless of all the attempts, was going to join this Umbra. And I look to Dill and see the companion. I look to Bowen. And I know this is hard. So I go over to Dill. How's your little fella over there?
Dill, meanwhile, has been kind of on the treetops and branches, listening to all of these conversations. And Dill goes over to you and kind of climbs on you.
Look at you, so agile.
Thanks, it's a +3. And kind of holds onto you, looking straight into your eyes, and goes, "I really like what you did there. And Skullman, he doesn't have hope. He just smells like grief, sadness, anger. But you smell real different. You smell like there's some kind of excitement there. I ain't smelt that on anyone before. Thank you. I saw those prisms and that weird thing's eyes. I ain't seen light like that before. Me?
I'm glad you did.
I think something different is happening with us lot. I don't know. The wind feels different on my back. The air, it's saying to me that maybe things might go back to how they were when you were wee. And I like that.
You are very kind. I needed to hear that.
Dill fucks off to the branches.
But Bowen has walked away from this exchange. As you step away from the fire, you hear the approaching scraping of metal armor and the The youthful Templar soldier, Bowen, kind of saddles up, walking shoulder to shoulder with you as you walk. These your friends, right?
Yeah.
What's up with the big one, I just saw what he did. Putting dead pieces in him. I don't know how I'm going to be able to sell that to the exemplars. I don't want to make a mistake here.
I turn to look at him, and I say, "You're a man of the faith, right?
I
You believe in miracles?"
It's interesting. You see a break in his eyes and words stop in his throat at that question. Yeah, of course I do.
That's what you'll tell him. There's a city that erupts itself out of the ground in a moment. Pilgrimages made. And now, life given again, not a revenant, not a husk of a former person. A miracle.
Glances back in the direction of Mercy, is resting. Right. And he kind of grabs his pendant and kind of shuffles back off to kind of take his own space and sit facing out into the darkness of the marsh. So, an evening's rest would come to you, lest there's any other business to engage in. So, you may take your downtime moves if you haven't already. And someone took watch. So.
Just 1d12, that's all you roll?
Just 1d12.
It's one of these guys, right?
Alrighty.
That's a good thing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I will do mine.
Want to take yours?
Yes.
Okay, what'd you roll?
A 12. I am doing so good right now.
So good.
I'm like rolling like I should go to Vegas after this.
The night itself is uncomfortable. There's a sickliness in your stomach just kind of spending an evening breathing in this marsh. And we'll get to that shortly.
I can't breathe. I'm dead.
I have like the tiniest little nostril.
It's not the most restful sleep, but it's functional. And you all wake up with that kind of ill sense in your stomach before the sun rises, with the unspoken knowledge that you need to move. You gather your things and trek onward. First and foremost, I need all of you to make a strength reaction roll for me, please.
Okay.
Okay.
That's. Well, I thought something good happened with the 12. I thought it was a 12 and something good happened.
This is separate from the 12.
Oh no.
3.
Okay.
7.
All right.
Oh, was it just one dice?
It's both your
Both.
hope and fear together. Add them together and then add.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just been really, really low.
I was gonna say like what?
We're just like I did not do well.
That's a 15.
15. Okay.
Get it.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, as you continue to move, most of you, the motions are sluggish. You are cruising and jumping from branch to branch, but the rest of you feel a pit in your stomach. All right. The rest of you get what's called a sickened die after spending an evening in the marshes here. So go ahead and roll a d4.
What's the worst number?
4.
Four is bad.
Four is
Four is
bad.
bad.
Awesome.
Oh, 3 as well. God.
Okay.
Dang it. 1.
Yeah, go
Okay.
back.
So
Oh,
keep
dang,
keep that die on your sheet if you can. That's the penalty to all of your action rolls.
Oh, great.
For the whole day or for how long?
For the fumes that have seeped into your system by taking a long rest in the swamp.
Ruh-roh.
Now,
I really needed that.
Now, whenever you would clear a hit point, you can decrease the value by 1.
When you would clear a hit point.
Correct.
Okay.
So, take a health potion, a healing spell, anything like that. You can do that to reduce it for each hit point, and when it goes to 0, you're no longer ill.
Okay, cool.
Do you
But
still get a hit point back as well?
Hold on.
Or is it just like you do it to get rid of the sickened?
Instead.
Instead.
Wait.
great.
Okay. Wait. Hold up. so.
So if we took a healing potion, then you could potentially heal all of those sickened things. Those
Amazing.
count like negative hit points against you, but you don't actually mark any hit.
Okay. Got it.
Correct, yeah, so-
I was like, do I have to do? Okay. Cool.
Now, instead of healing a hit point, you can choose to reduce the die by 1 per hit point healed.
Got it. But once I'm healed, I can now go back to like HPs.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
You can still do HP instead. You just get the choice.
Okay.
Up to you.
Okay.
So
Do we need to have a hit point marked in order to clear it, or if just like if you were to?
No, you
Do
don't.
it now. We
cool,
could do
perfect.
healing
All right.
spells
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
If you had it
Gotcha.
now, it just spends the
Yeah.
resources.
Can
to
I
do so.
heal myself? No, I'm not gonna use that right now. That's ridiculous. But okay. Good to know. Good to know.
So feeling ill in yourselves, that kind of glance between your troop that once again this landscape takes those who try and find solace, but you push on, you endure. You trek forward, southward, the gnarled trees and hanging rough, ragged and thick blankets of vine and moss kind of pushing past, growing thinner and thinner, until the thick, dark, clouded skies above and the distant horizon begin to faintly light with the first signs of dawn. You all have only just begun this journey, but it's already taking a toll. And it's that moment, a break in the distant horizon clouds, one that rarely happens in these lands, occurs as you watch the darkness crack open. And for some of you, the first time in years maybe, you can see the blues and pinks and oranges of a sunrise. A golden light that peers forth like a beam from across the distance and warms this edge of the marsh as you escape the rotten shallows. That warmth gives you a hint of renewal. It also alights with clarity the base of the massive mountain sitting far to the south. One that you can maybe only see a third of, a half before it vanishes into the clouds above. Bigger than any mountain any of you have seen or heard of. And you can, in this momentary sunlight that pushes past the distant range, you swear you can see a faint halo of green illuminating this mountain. This indeed is something magical in the distance. All of you gain a hope from this positive omen of the 12 rolled on the lurking darkness.
Oh wait. Also, did we gain a hope from the prepare?
Yeah, you got 2 hopes.
Oh
from the
my
prepare.
gosh, so much hope that I didn't even clock. Yay, hope.
With that, the clouds swallow the sunrise, but the morning comes as you step past the final sloshing boot falls of the marsh and enter the Sallow opens. Now before you, continuing to descend, rolling dunes of white and yellow powdered dust, dry salt and tumbled dirt, broken rocks pushing through, signs of sunk into ancient stone. And goodness knows what else calls these lands home as you head towards the rising pillar that holds the Tower of Oxudos. So, as part of traversing this region, as you push forward, I'm going to go ahead and put a countdown of 4 on this.
No.
Like 3 already?
The fun thing about exploration and traversal. Just 4 different successes or a means of counting this down before you reach the Tower of Oxudos. Also at the top of this, because it was a long rest, I get some fear. 1 for each of you.
So much fear.
1 for each of us.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That's too much.
And then
3, 4,
Oh my
5.
God.
And then I get to add a d4 to that.
What?
Yep.
We're
1.
fucked.
So I'm
Oh,
just shy of max fear.
Oh my god.
Quick cue, because I have a prayer dice. Can I use that to heal this situation?
If Paradise allow you to heal hit points, clear hit points?
It says, prayer, you can spend any number to aid yourself or an ally within far range to reduce incoming damage, add to a roll's result after the roll is made, or gain hope equal to the result.
So unfortunately, no.
Dang
I have to
it.
be clearing hit points.
Well.
That's all right.
I tried.
That's all right. Good thought, though. Good thought. Pushing into this dusty expanse, you can see Bowen kind of takes a heavy cloth underneath and wraps it around his nose and mouth as the winds begin to pick up, and you can feel the pelting of kind of not painful but slight sting of dust with these gusts as they hit you. As Bowen kind of looks over to the rest of you. I'd be warned, dust storms are not uncommon this part of the region, so if you have something at the ready, just in case it comes, we have to hunker down. It's hard to push through. And he just keeps kind of looking towards you as he does so. You can see an expression that's not uncommon in recent years of you traversing, a concern.
If I see him doing it again, I'm gonna thump my staff in front of him.
Okay. I'll say about 10 more minutes of the early part of the journey before him kind of keeping an eye out in the distance, kind of trying to watch over one of the nearby rising dunes of white powdered dust, and glances back at the rest of you and kind of just gives a keen look, almost like he just lingers a bit.
Faith comes in many forms. Are you afraid?
I have many reasons to be afraid. I'm just...
Do you think your veiled guard was beautiful?
I don't know. I've never... You see, like, once again, the glimpse of the beginnings of an admission before it's pulled back. My faith is strong. My brothers and sisters, I'll do my best to find us safe passage among them. He kind of pushes on and continues his walking forward, this time looking back over his shoulder to you with like almost like a pained confusion before continuing his step.
give the kid a break. I'll come over and kind of walk up beside you. He saw the consequences last night of his gods leaving him.
Something we all feel. In due time.
I'll look at you, Mercy, and say, a lot of people, as I'm sure you'll know, will see you as an omen. Some may see you as a miracle. But for you, you decide what you are for them. There's a lot of confusion here in the Sallowlands because of that new city. You might want to use it to your advantage.
see me sort of nod, and it's like almost like an inspirational glint of hope hits me with that idea in mind. And I also kind of wrap something around my face as well as we kind of continue through this weird sand storm.
All right.
Bowens look back at you and you have a big smile. You're like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Interesting. So who would like to lead this first length of the journey into the Sallow Opens?
I'm going to use my body as almost, because I'm quite a big guy, almost as a shield to help move us forward in a way.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of falls into almost a line from the position of the wind as it begins to pick up more and more. So make a strength roll.
Sure.
Your little, maybe half of your head is in your
Yeah, just like a little half of it in my shell.
20, no, sorry. That's 6. 18, 19, minus 1. 18.
18 with?
Oh, sorry. Hope.
Hope, great.
Yeah.
Take that hope.
Yep.
Hopeful giant.
So, indeed, everyone kind of lines up behind you, and for the next hour and a half or so, you kind of put yourself up against each ridge as soon as a gust would hit and kind of buckle in and lead alongside of everyone else. Clusters of dust kind of spray and hit, and your body in many places has lost the sensation of pain, so it's no impact to you, but it keeps some of the other folks shielded. Also, it keeps you on a higher vantage point as well to keep an eye out. It's interesting, a number of darkened shapes and things that break up the pale expanse of just open, winding dunes and kind of broken, jagged, dry badlands. It's been 2 fears since we've gotten this journey, at least. But it becomes harder to see what some of these destinations are as the wind picks up. Stronger and stronger and stronger. Before you look to your left as a shadow begins to creep over, darker than the cloud cover ahead, a massive wall of roiling dust approaches at a speed that you can't even clock at the moment. What do you do?
Is there anywhere to take cover?
You want to look for it?
This seems smart.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an instinct roll for me.
Oh,
Search.
why did I say it? Okay. Can I use my... No, that's a dumb one.
Your way, before you roll, I'll give you, I'm a little bit more familiar with some of these areas,
Absolutely.
so I will, maybe in my time going through many dust storms that I know, looking at the palette of colors where maybe something would be, I'll spend a hope and give you...
Thank you.
Yeah, to give you a D6.
I literally have an experience called Dust to Dust, which has nothing to do with actual...
Well, explain to me how you would use it. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. This is literally a dust storm, so
I feel like it has to do with death more than it does
Okay,
with
fair.
actual dust. Oh, no.
Fair. All right,
Yeah.
so go ahead and roll the d6, add it to your check there.
Does that count? I guess it does, even though it landed up on the thing. That's really low, y'all.
No.
What'd you roll?
1.
Oh, great. So 8.
I have an
8 total.
8 total. With
hope.
Oh,
get that hope.
nice.
I have an experience called Waste Wanderer that is literally about that. I'm
Oh,
sad you got
great.
in there first.
That's
but-
all
Really
good.
sorry.
Well-
Can we, I didn't think about the fact that I would be rolling for this.
Right.
I said the thing.
It's with hope, though, right? So if something happens,
true.
you can
Better say,
can
you
go
always try
right
it
in.
again, but
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
say
yeah,
for
yeah.
right now, as you begin to rush, you point to a couple of locations, some darker shapes or darker moments, some sort of distant amorphous landmarks across the white desert ahead of you that you begin to rush towards.
But as I do, my veil that I always have over my face, like the wind is blowing so hard that it's like,
Getting caught in your face. Kind of, you point out to an area and trip over one of the dunes. The rest of you kind of like have to rush to catch up. You rush Mercy to try and grab sister. Right yourself, and as you do, you thought you would have had enough time here before it reached you. But you all glance ahead
oh shit.
as rapidly The dust storm swallows all of your periphery, and you all try desperately to cling together, not lose each other in this moment.
Can I like retract and people can hold on to like my spikes?
Sure. So you all kind of gather in to hold on best you can.
I'm literally clinging onto Mercy, like she's like underneath the swaddle that you've made for yourself.
Right. All of you mark a stress as the storm hits. Feeling the panic come over you.
I'm stressed.
I am.
A new sensation for some of you as the heavy sweat on your skin suddenly gets thick with sand and dust and becomes like a caked exterior that briefly guards you from the horrible pain of the ever expedient impact of this wall. So for the rest of this scene, all of you have disadvantage on your action rolls.
Great.
Great. And a negative.
-3.
Oh God.
But you continue to push forward. Did you want to try and lead through this dust storm in the direction you last saw?
I'm always wanderer. I know my shit.
Let's go for it.
Dale, you got this.
Okay, so
I'm gonna help you.
thank you.
How do you help out?
I'm
Dillywin?
going to stick my staff into the ground, just to like brace myself and let her hop up on the top of my head so she can see what she's doing.
It's a 11. Oh, I've just moved the dice accidentally. But it was a 11 with fear.
Oh no! Wait, hold on.
no,
Let me
plus
give you
two, plus
plus
two.
3.
So plus 5, it's a 16.
Much better.
That is a success.
Yes. How much do we have left? 1? Okay, great.
No, 2.
No, 2. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Great. So, clutching in, you recall seeing some of these landmarks that you would point out earlier, and you also, having been through some of these wastes, know that there are some broken ruins and large stone outcroppings that were once kind of lake bed formations. You're not quite sure. They're kind of wild looking. But they'll help be a little bit of a guard from the heavy winds as you kind of... How do you gather the troops here to follow behind?
I'm like sat on Mercy's back, and I'm gonna go, this way! And then Badger is like kind of trying to like kind of failing, but like flapping and kind of herding you along, like whilst also being.
Badger is like wings out on the sand.
Yeah.
And like it's like tries to open the wings. And just vanishes. And you just catch Badger on the edge of your staff, like and it slowly climbs back down, and it's just clutching onto your shoulders and neck. But all of you have fallen behind Dilly, and Dilly, you. It's been a minute since you've hit this specific part of the lands, but you're used to moving quick, you're used to keeping a grip, and you just start climbing down and up, and the rest of you falling behind. You see there's like you go onto the dark side of one of these dunes, which gives some protection from the storm, most of it kind of careening overhead, and you keep below. A lot of it is still pushing down, and you can feel the erosion kind of changing the shape of the landscape with the storm, but you've also dealt with these in the past, you as well, and so between the two of you kind of working and you kind of helping, keeping a grounding momentum between the rest of the troop, eventually you can see some of these shapes begin to approach. You see these large kind of curved spikes, these weird pockmarked stone rocks that kind of rise up and bend. They're curved towards the storm, but they look like they've been pushed or eroded in a specific direction over a long period of time. Varying sizes and shapes, but you can get behind them and kind of gather yourselves for a breath where the sheer intensity of the storm is not punishing you continuously.
This is very different than the rest saw. I once I sailed, and I think oh goodness, my bones. I think I can perhaps crawl into these in these spikes and see if perhaps I can take a peek of where to go next once this settles down. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Oh boy, my joints.
All right, so you climb up one of these rocks best you can. What's your instinct?
It's 1, but I have sailing experience, so +2.
Oh, so you're going to use your sailing experience?
Yes!
All right,
sorry.
spend that hope to add the roll. So I'll say for this, you climb up with the help of your friends. You get as high as you can, and the further up you go, this rock points up at its apex probably 50-ish feet. So it's a climb. You slip at a moment point and keep yourself there, but you're hardy. You got a grip, you're shaking, kind of like feel your shell rattling against the stone. But slowly, you get as high as you can, and near the apex, you can start seeing some of the color of the clouds. The intensity of the wind is staying low to the land, and there are bursts and moments where you can almost make out the distant shapes. It's just finding the right moment to focus and utilizing that window to try and take in as much of the surrounding terrain as you can. So go ahead and make that instinct roll for me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's 9, 10 plus hope with hope.
Which one?
10 with hope.
Is that?
Wait.
Yeah, no, 8, 9, plus 10, plus 1.
Plus 2.
2.
Plus 2. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. 8 plus 1, 9, plus 2, 11, plus instinct, 12. No, 2! I have 2 instincts.
13.
13 with hope.
13 was the difficulty.
That's what you were like, how much was it? I was like, I don't know, numbers are
I was
stressful.
like, we're right on the cusp here. With hope?
With hope.
With hope. So,
It's that sickness, man.
I want
Oh, yeah,
I want
I'm
you to
not doing okay.
describe to me what you see from on top of that rock, and what faithful memory holds this as the place you need to traverse.
I remember from this morning that beautiful sunrise, and I see a little bit of light and a glimpse of the city, of the tower. Oh, I see the tower again. It's quite far. The sand might have gotten us a little bit off track, but we are so close. We're so close.
You also trek down and see, maybe 2 miles up the path, these like kind of larger kind of rock dunes with, just barely able to make out the details. It looks almost like a caravan. Like there you see like tents that are locked down and withstanding the storm, best you can tell. It looks, you can't make up much more detail from this distance, and only because you're up so high and you roll with hope.
Yay. Caravan before the tower, like
On the path there.
on the path to the tower.
I see signs of potential life. I see some tents. I see that some people. I don't see people, but I do see that perhaps there are potentially people inside these tents. How do we feel about approaching them?
80 feet in the air. They see a tart.
What? I climb down very slowly. I'm coming!
Meanwhile, Dilly like runs up to go meet you and then passes the information on just the same time.
Amazing.
She said that.
Oh, okay. Nice. Bowen's with us, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I didn't know if it would be like, and the sand clears and Bowen's gone. Okay.
Bowen is like clutched on the rock there, and it's like has a shield up to protect himself, and is like keeping an eye out, hearing the shouting, relaying stuff back. Can't see anything from this end. What'd you say? Thank you.
Something caravan. We're going there.
Very well.
What kind of tents could withstand this?
I mean, if they're built for this terrain, I imagine they lock it down pretty heavy.
Have you seen the caravan? Have you seen a caravan near your tower?
This was my first journey beyond the tower.
Oh, buddy.
So, and I've only been north.
I think then I'm gonna, once given the direction, just push through. I think again using the same tactic as we did before. I might go actually up to Bowen and ask for the shield. So I kind of go over and sort of, may I use your shield?
Yeah, sure. He hands it over to you.
Kind of, my hand sort of clasp over it. Thank you.
There's a moment of resistance before he kind of sets it free, kind of still looking up at you. It's not judgment, it's just grasping with what answers he has. It's the best way you can read it.
Yeah, and I sort of bow my head. I'm like, thank you. Stay close. And I like raise the shield up with like one arm pretty easily, and kind of tell everyone to sort of like follow me.
Mercy, I'll tap you on the shoulder. I'll grab onto your shoulder as the wind blows around us. I'll hand you my rope, and then I'll try to extend the rope so that we can all have something to hold on to, so we don't get like lost or anything like that. Yeah, I'm blown away. Yeah, Badger's at the
Okay,
Fantastic.
that's something else.
I'll say for this, because it's the center of the storm, this is less strength-based, and this is more finesse.
All right,
this
that's
is
fine.
controlling the wind with the shield at your front.
Yeah.
So make a finesse roll for
All right, you got it. You got it. You got it. So. Did you the rope give me like anything?
Yeah, it gave you advantage.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Oh shit.
Well, are we still rolling with
Oh.
disadvantage because of the storm?
Yeah.
Oh, we're rolling at disadvantage, so we got a minus like.
Minus a d6.
Minus
Yeah.
D6.
That is fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, bro.
It's in your crevices, dude. I don't
Can
know.
I give
Okay,
you
well,
advantage? Can I give him advantage and be so hopeful for you?
How do you want to help?
I'm gonna say, you are a protector. You're made for this.
What?
You're so big.
All right. Okay.
Oh, you had a
What you got? What you got?
Oh, you know, you roll it.
Okay, I rolled it. I did. I got a 4. All right. So that is that.
Hello,
that.
it's fine. This one.
14.
14? With?
Oh, with hope.
Take the hope.
Yes. Oh, I love you, purple die.
On.
That's a good purple die.
I'm telling you.
You'd be out here like
Pushing
behind
through
the
this storm, using the direction of Cagauma's specific instruction, you guiding them along the paths the safest way through the dunes, you keeping an eye and helping like the team conically push behind where you have your shield up there, and you trudge on for another 35, 40 minutes.
Jeez.
It's a slow, arduous climb through what is already challenging terrain, the up and down of a dense sand dust dune and broken land expanse, before eventually you come upon a number of shaded tents that are deeply locked down. They're low set except for one larger tent, and these are hardy, they are fixed. Whoever put these here are used to this landscape, and these are built to withstand.
Are there any symbols, any like the way the tents are made or anything that we would know about this caravan group at all? Is there any indication?
Make a knowledge roll for me if you don't mind. Actually, what is your knowledge?
My knowledge is +0.
+0? Make a knowledge roll.
Okay. But we both know it, so maybe if someone else has higher knowledge. Do you have higher knowledge?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'll roll it. Great. Oh, you're not sick.
Yeah,
I'm not sick.
Can I think of that and then be like, Shelly, I have the worst stomachache right now, and there's sand in my eyes.
I'll allow it.
And I'm also going to use my.
Are we just all shitting our pants as well?
Yeah.
It's just like-
I'm like, this is because I've got Badger here and he's really stinky, so like, I'm just used to this kind of thing. I'm going to use my experience of you smell like to use my sense of smell to find out if there's anything dangerous or dodgy going on.
Let's go, I love it.
Or familiar. Like,
Or familiar or anything. She's great.
Smells like sand. And dust.
So,
And shit.
why am I rolling so badly? 9, 11 with fear. I haven't rolled with hope once yet.
The wind is quite strong. You do not pick up any scents that are familiar as it blows anything by. You can see the shape of what looks like an ox, a beast of burden that is like on the ground, still affixed to a wagon that's just kind of... It's kind of keeping itself settled in for the storm, and you see shapes of other horses and other large oxen-like beasts. Indeed, this is a mobile community of just looking at what few tents that are here, a few dozen immediately at proximity, and you can't see much farther beyond that because of the storm. The storm looks like it's starting to thin, but you can't pick up any particular sense. And with that, a brief little instance.
Whoa.
I got sand in my really big eyes.
We need to get you some goggles.
I really need them.
The storm passes by. You catch yourself, the clouded skies above. One of the oxen kind of gets up and shakes itself off, dushes whoosh off the side. Other beasts kind of rise up around it. With a better view, there are a few dozen tents. This is like a setup here.
This is where we should have fucking rested.
Something called swamp water.
And dead people.
Yeah, burning bodies.
I automatically, sort of seeing this, go like to back away, just because of my previous experiences of dealing with people, caravans, community. I kind of look. I look to you and say, I will find somewhere to be safe. You may all go inside. And I just bolt away.
Badger, go after him. Keep him company.
You bolt back as you turn to run on the upper hill where you just were, where you immediately look up into the silhouette of a hooded and cloaked figure standing there staring down at you with what looks to be a long bow, partially knocked, just looking.
I try and go the other direction.
You see their face itself swaddled with a thick scarf, obscuring most of their features but their eyes, looking over as you shift. Their arrow knocks and pulls tight in a don't move. They're not firing, but they're definitely giving you the familiar look of stop. The rest of you all watch as he turns on and does this. You also notice, those of you of higher instinct, other shapes begin to pull off of the nearby dunes, some emerging from the tents. Maybe 13 or so in the immediate proximity, emerging with patchwork, kind of cobbled armor and leather, some of them just exposed, sunburnt skin, all manner of bright reds to dark browns, all spectrum of human to orc to dwarf to ragged-looking elf, with weapons of different makes. No real clear uniformity to what's been wielded or shown here. One massive, kind of ogreish-looking giant figure himself with a large kind of gray ponytail that just juts off the top of a balded head that kind of flows with the remnants of the wind. A singular eye that sits in the middle of his skull right there with these massive kind of arm blades that are attached to these bracers on the sides that are currently folded back, and kind of steps out and goes,
Can I help you?
I don't know, can you?
What are you here for?
Currently, we were seeking refuge from the storm, but it's past, and therefore so shall we.
Not quite yet.
snaps, and you watch as number of figures on these dunes raise their arrows up and point them. The other figures pull their blades out, not aggressively, but just showing them now. Various hammers and hooked maces and such. It goes like,
You've wandered into Stig's company.
Stig's company. It goes,
And as such, you don't leave without a conversation.
I look at both of you. Stig. You know Stig?
Do we know Stig?
We knew Stig.
you've heard of Stig's company.
Excuse me. Who speaks?
What now?
What's your name?
Me. I'm the one who's been asking questions here. My name's Farok, and I'm associate to Miss Stig's. She was taking a nap. She likes it when it's stormy. You understand, right?
Yeah. Edra, right?
Adrian, yeah. Have you met the mistress?
Long time ago.
Good, and you know how this works. Put your things on the ground and we see what's useful.
I turned back around to the team. I long time ago traveled with these people. They don't seem to remember me, but they are, from what I last remember, quite ethical raiders. They won't attack, but they do love a chat. If there's anything you have that you don't really care for, just...
Someone over your shoulder goes like, won't attack, it just says.
Just... At least from what I remember, it's been quite some time. I don't know if the leader now has changed a little bit of the rules and agreements, but, yes. I hope they will let us passage.
Okay.
You could have my torch. I've got glowy eyes, so I don't need them anyway.
Put it in the ground. Watch, I guess he points the blade like sticks out out of the front and kind of uses it like a pointer.
On the boil.
Take a handful of gold and toss it.
Kind of like gives you an odd look for the gold. Says, looks over to Bowen. It's a nice armor you got there. Throw it in a boil. He's like, throws his shield, throws his helmet onto it, and kind of like begrudgingly starts taking off his heavy plate armor. It's like,
no, poor
I
Bowen.
can't. Could you help me assist in that? It's sort of
Yeah.
Thanks,
Are they implying that they want us to give them everything, or just like a thing?
A thing?
A
Give him
thing?
it. I don't know.
Sacrifice.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'll take out a big vial of I think I have some kind of creature's blood on me, and I'll throw it in the middle, and I'll kind of just look up to see if that is enough.
You toss
to
it
this
on.
Farok fellow.
And as you turn back, this other, like, kind of skulky-looking dwarf fella, very gaunt, kind of pointed features, patchy mustache that's, like, missing a big old gash where you could see a scar across, goes like, that's a nice skull you got there, boy. You want the rest of your friends to be kind in their generous offerings, huh?
Skull's not for sale. Thanks, though. I'll look at you all and say, throw something in.
You can have one of my little bat skulls.
There you go.
This was my old friend. I just wanted him to have more adventures. But if you look after him, I'll give him to you.
I kind of pull from the back like this tattered book. And there's like a sadness as I kind of place it in the middle and move back.
The various archers, like, re-nock their arrows tightly, building attention to the air here as the other figures have their weapons now a little more defensively splayed. The central large tent flap opens, and you see stepping out a massive, half-giant, half-orc woman. You see, she also has a singular eye, but it is a deep, deep red color to it. Long black hair that's in these like multiple braids that are weaved in with metallic rings of brass and bronze. You see, she wears this very dented breastplate, but has hand-painted designs of it of multicolors and like a shoulder cloak that blows behind her in the breeze. She steps over to what you thought was like just a hitching post for one of the nearby beasts of burden. You now realize it's a blade. It is a very dark, weathered metal two-handed blade as she pulls it out and kind of uses it almost like a walking stick as she approaches, looking down at all of you, even a little bit down to you. She's about a couple inches taller than you.
Nice.
She looks over.
I casually, very gently pull the hood slightly, just ever so slightly, hoping that I might not be fully recognized.
She steps in and says, "Oh, hey there, friends. This is how you all made your way on the Steve's company today. Let's see what offerings you bring." She glances over. That did be slim pickings, huh? Well, slim pickings get slim pickings. Snaps a finger, and somebody comes over and unrolls a satchel with a bunch of other interesting-looking items. And you see they start laying out things of equal worth. And it's like, I guess we aren't going to get too much trade on today, are we?
Andrew! Wait, they're traders?
Way to do business. Usually there's a pitch involved or something like that.
I want to. Here's the goal. Here's the goal.
You can have one of my bird beaks.
It's funny, suddenly all the tones be changing when you mention that this isn't some sort of a shakedown.
You should make this known beforehand.
Oh, not my fault you don't know about Steve's company. But now you do. So now you spread the word so other people don't have the same problem as you are.
Yeah.
Edra! Cagauma looks up ever so slightly.
Who be using my first name?
Oh, Edra.
Oh, look, it's the turtle tag. Are you still alive?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh, no.
My shell has really taken a number of hits. But it's good to see you.
It is a thing to see you, too. Anyway, storm's done. We got business to do. What you looking for? They lay out a handful of odd objects.
All right.
You see. There is an odd cluster of, looks like polished wood, metal hinges, and folded fabric. And it just looks like a pile of junk, but with intentional construction. It's just kind of haphazard and kind of janky looking. You also see what looks like a bronze-ish cylinder, a bit dinged up, but of beautiful make, if a little like weathered, and a hint of kind of black oil at the edges, and looks like a piece of dirty glass on one end. There is what looks to be a very kind of ragged-looking bow that is settled on one edge of this mat. It looks like it's been broken or splintered in multiple places, but it still kind of holds a form to it. And there is a scroll set here on the side. So what you trading for me?
What are these things?
Half of it I don't fucking know. But I know there was something because the people that had him previously seemed to be unhappy to see them go missing.
I'd be interested in the scroll. I kind of want to know what it says.
I think it's a recipe book. Goes ahead and lifts it up, opens it up. Hands it over to somebody else. That's a recipe. Oh, for, looks like some sort of a recovery oil or liquid.
We should get that.
Use that.
We should get that.
I still feel a little nauseous.
Is that a telescope? An eyeglass?
She reaches down, holds it up. The icon of bing, bing.
Oh, yeah,
I do
her
say,
boot.
yeah. I do say it is, but it's not really seen too far. Excuse me. And it extends. Oh my goodness.
This is not for sale.
Why nobody tell me this how I be working? Everyone else kind of like backs away a little bit. Sorry, my people sometimes be not the best to be informing their mistress. Okay, shinks about. It's an eyeglass. Throws it back down.
You use a bow, so does that look nice? I don't know.
No,
Oh, all right. Well,
no, it looks rubbish. Mine's made out of bird bones. It's loads better.
Maybe that one's magic. Old magic.
How do you know?
I don't. Can I look at it? Do I feel any magic coming off of it?
Make a knowledge roll for me if you don't mind.
Ooh, can I add my experience? Eye of newt, toe of frog.
Sure.
That's very fun. Ooh, that's a crit.
Dang! Oh my god.
I'll take that hope, clear that stress.
Oh, sweet, I get a whole bag.
It's interesting. You kind of lean forward on the bow. It looks kind of busted, like the wood. Where normally it would be solid. This looks like it's been cracked and splintered out in multiple places, like a branch that has been left to just be weathered over time. But the string is very taut, and you almost like go and pull the string for a bit, and the bow bends with it without issue. And where most bows would break at even just the slightest bit of tension with what it currently looks like, so it's fairly hardy. With a crit, you can see where the edges of the bow meet the string. There's the only part that's not wood are these metallic caps, and the metallic caps themselves seem to have some sort of a scrolling on the edge. And you watch as it kind of bends back, the scrolling seems to flicker slightly.
What do you think, sister? Do you think it's better than my bird bone bow?
I think you could string your bird bow with that, and it might be even better. But I would take it if I were you.
Deal.
And what's the other thing? The bunch of cloth.
That there is a major invention. You see this, right outside our old well down there's an old fella likes to be putting stuff together. And he was real unhappy to see it go. Promised it had a lot of promise for the future. We don't know how it works, though.
I kind of look to you and point to this thing and point to you.
Yeah, you're tubing.
that's true. Based off of what I'm looking at or what they're describing, can I discern what it is? Like what it?
It looks like a pile of junk.
Yeah,
if you want to really take a minute, make a knowledge roll.
Yeah, can I hold it?
Shaun and kind of takes it, and it's maybe about this big, and it's heavily folded onto itself, but it's also bits of cloth falling from it. Kind of
Does it look wrapped?
Parts of it?
Oh. All right.
It looks
I'll hold it up to the light.
Minus your sick dice.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, great. Thank you. And what am I rolling with this? This one?
Knowledge.
Oh, great. Okay. So 4?
4? Cool. You have no idea what this does.
Great.
You don't know if it functions as needed. You don't know if it's a hidden gem in the rough. It looks like there is intent there. Like the metal joints there do kind of like shift. There are joints and like locks in them.
I'll take it.
All right. I see you one with a keen eye for special stuff. All right, this is special stuff. Whatever it is special.
Thanks.
How many can we take?
Well, let's see what you have to trade for it. I see there's a couple coins on the table. We see there's bat skull.
You're welcome.
We see there's vial. Is that blood?
It's life essence. Using it correctly, you can do many great things if you just believe.
I'm really
Debbie. It's not a whole lot to trade for maybe one of these things.
I perhaps have something that might bring you some comfort and perhaps some memories from the past.
Now, why pray tell I wouldn't want that, huh?
Cagauma goes and rummages through their bag and pulls out this bird-like puppet.
Do you remember back? I know when I first met you, you were just 2. But you had such strength in your eyes. And I see you now. And you've grown so much to be such...
Strength in your eye.
Your eye? But it was 2 when she was little. I'm sorry about you.
You see, 2 of the other members of the band are like, "Shit, you said 2."
I will always remember how you named Mr. Beaks.
You see all the rest of the company kind of leaning in. I need you to make a presence roll.
Yes, I do.
for me.
Oh, God, I'm sweaty. Where's my presents? This one.
You can help if they want to, but otherwise.
Oh, I do. I'm gonna do presents, and I'm also gonna do my experience for dad jokes. And be like,
do you remember when I said, what did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing, it just waved. It is a 16 plus 2.
oh no, okay, 1 second. Okay. Math first. 10 plus 6 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. Plus 1 is 19. Minus 3.
16.
Thank you.
With
hope.
Just take that hope. As Edra Steegs glares at you, before her one eye begins to well up.
What is happening?
Oh, man. I done forgot about Mr. Beaks. I done forgot it was you that brought him to me. Around other members go, what?
There ain't a lot of joy out here in the Shadowlands these days, but could you show me? Could you bring Mr. Beaks to life for me?
Cagauma puts in their little hand in there.
Well, hello. Oh, I've missed you very, very much.
Oh, I missed you too, Mr. Beaks.
Oh. always adored your beautiful humor and your leadership skills. There isn't many people out there who actually care about ethical trading. And you always find a way to find equity.
We run by my code for a reason. I learned that from you.
I am very, very proud of you. Would you like to pet my head?
Massive, meaty hand.
All right. Throw in the bird we gotta do. For at least 3 of them.
Goodbye, Mr. Beeks. Goodbye. But you kept me great company. And now it's in your company. Sticks company.
You heard the voice right, get it right. And that's one of the guys where I was like, no, I don't.
Get it right, get it right.
Right out. You work on it. All right. What 3 pieces you want?
3 pieces.
What's Bones look like during all this?
Bowen just going. Just mean I can keep my stuff. It's like, oh, honey, we don't be wearing any of that with the exemplars around here. They're liable to kill us on sight.
3 things just for the bird?
Not just any bird.
I'm not saying that out loud.
Mr. Beeks
Damn,
has brought
okay.
great comfort, and these are really trying times.
Yeah.
Sad I didn't get to know him more. He seemed great.
It was a good time.
You should be sad. But that's how it roll out here in the Sallowlands.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we should take the bow.
The boat, the scroll.
Yes,
And
the scroll.
I guess it's between the eyeglass and pile of junk.
It's not just a pile of junk. Yeah, I'll look down, I'll nod, and I'll gently place it.
It seems so important.
It will, but if it's meant to be, fate will have us meet again.
So there is
You can
some-
take the
I
eyeglass.
don't think we need it. I don't think we need an eyeglass. We know where we're going.
I've got my big eyes.
I like then rescind. No, you are right. We don't need that eyeglass. We clearly need this. And I like move one of the hinges. Yeah.
He's been having a hard day. He should have the pile of junk.
Yes. Let him have it.
Okay. Well then, that is a fair trade. Very good. Folks didn't have much to give, and that's in your better interests. Any more than that, we would've just taken it. But, you know, take something, leave something. You gave, we both take. That's how the Steeds Company operate. So y'all take care of yourselves wherever you're off to. Looks over Bowen. If you fall in this one, y'all stepping towards trouble. And heads back into her tent. The other folks lower their bows and start just going about their business.
Okay.
She was a good one.
I'm like looking at you like, what secrets do you have? Like, you're like talking to monsters and calming them. It's like, okay.
What could I say? I just...
Amazing.
His armor on. Who are you people?
We don't know.
Should we?
I'm gonna pick up that bow though and hand it to you.
Thank you.
Grab that scroll.
Yeah. I'm gonna point out the little things on the end of the street. The metal bits.
What does it say?
What is it? Right, well, I'm not sure.
Is it enchanted
because-
string or is it enchanted bow? What is it? No.
So you can, in theory, if you want to, take those bits off and with a little bit of time, affix it to your bow, and your bow gets that ability.
Oh.
So you can keep your bow, but you can get that feature.
I was going to say, because there's some bits that I don't want.
Right.
Because mine goes further.
Oh.
But what have I got? 2d6 plus 6. Can I add that bit to it? I don't know how it works.
You can choose to keep your current bow stats or that bow stats, but you can flavor it as keeping the same bow. So it's up to you. You could trade or not.
I don't know.
What is it? What is it?
Right, but, explain what he's saying. So,
Meaning you can keep your current bow traits altogether, or you can replace it with this one, but from a narrative standpoint, make it seem like you've just made your old bow with this new feature. That way you still keep the flavor of your old bow.
Do you have an enchanted bow already?
no. Is this enchanted?
Well,
Oh, it is magic.
yeah.
What does
And
that
then
mean?
It's volleyed, so you can spend a hope to target a group of creatures within range. Targets you succeed against take half damage.
Oh, we'll take it.
So you do extra damage. Yeah, you do more. Than
You can choose to hit a single target, or you can spend that to hit many targets in an area for half damage. You send an arrow that splinters into a volley.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Thanks. Thanks.
All good.
You're a great enabler.
I take a little peek at this like scroll situation.
It's a tattered but fairly comprehensive breakdown of local herbs, as well as a somewhat dark means of utilizing what's referred to as vitae as a core component to craft healing salves and healing tonics. Within some of the sketches in there, you realize vitae. Oh, that's just blood. Just as fresh blood. But you can utilize it to craft minor health potions if you have any interest during a downtime.
Oh, one downtime move.
There's a vial of blood to grab.
And I will take the pile of shit. Matt, my stat block, please. My stat block for the pile of junk and garbage.
I mean, you can futz with it if you want to. Right now, it's not really
Does it
operable.
help? It's only for one person, right?
I think we shared a passing glance during the puppet exchange. And I'll hold up this thing and I go,
know how to make this.
do you have any idea what this is?
I kind of come to you and
Amazing. Yeah.
guess
We just have to
with
get some
all
vial
of my kind of weird gear that
This guy
I've
can really
self
like
put on it.
blood.
I
Yeah.
like tap it
Sweet, amazing.
and I'm like, no. And is there anything I can actually like look at this thing to try and decipher, not necessarily a use for it, but like almost again like an invention, like a creative invention to it. Like
I'll say the two of you, like you have some ingenuity in general from just your experience of survival and the numerous pursuits that you've begun to step towards in your recent years here in the Sallowlands. You yourself, a creature of unexpected renewal and a mind that instinctually comes at things from outside the box. The two of you begin fidgeting with this pile of junk for a number of minutes as a few other members of the company walk by and be like, good luck, brothers, and just keep on walking.
Don't listen to him.
You find this one like kind of brass ringed portion that's like caught on something. And it looks like it should twist, but it's stuck. And there's like springs inside. There's like almost like subtle clockwork or something on the inside. You can't quite tell from this perspective, but you both kind of together brace it and pull. And when you pull hard enough, it unfolds. The cloth that's been draped goes taut, and it looks like a makeshift bird made of wood with metal joints and like sails under it almost.
oh wow. You know what? Can I take it and find like throw it? But what I'll do is I kind of as this opens, I look back at you and the rope that we used earlier. I'm going to just tie it to one of the maybe one of the legs of this thing or the thing, and I'm gonna walk towards like an open space, hoping that maybe the wind of the last sandstorm that has passed, we're getting like dredges of, and kind of feel it and throw this bird, but hold onto the rope, just to kind of almost see what happens.
Yeah. As the winds begin to pick up a little bit subtly from the tail end of the previous dust storm, you give it a chuck. The rest of you watch as other company members kind of are watching this whole thing silently as you throw it, and it kind of takes up for a second before drifting down. It catches another burst of wind. It's not going up, but it's definitely a very metered descent with the wind before it comes to rest, and you withdraw it. And there's a chorus of, "You fucking kidding me?" And it's like, "I told you, yo, my gold." It's like,
and like with when I felt that, with the how taut was the, can I check the weight essentially of pull from the rope? Like, was it quite strong?
It seems that, I mean, the pull isn't necessarily strong. Like, it doesn't have a lot of pull behind it, forcefully, but it seems like when you threw it and it arced and gave it a tug, it held pretty well.
Yeah. I think where my head is at, it's like, it's almost as, I kind of look to you and I'm like, I wonder if this contraption can slow descent of one light enough. And I kind of look to Dilly. Perhaps, or a fun child's play toy as I'm pulling this thing up. And am I aware, as I saw it open with us pulling that thing, am I aware of folding it back in place?
You have no idea.
Okay, right.
It's just this massive.
How big is it?
Well, let's see. The wingspan from end to end with it unfolded is about, say, 10 or so feet from end to end. But then the actual body of it is about 4 feet. So it's far wider than it is long, with one long, thin tail that kind of goes behind that kind of acts as a rudder. And the wings on it just kind of act almost like parachutes slightly, as much as they do wings. So it's a more or less like a glider chute.
Yeah.
Do you want me to have a go? I can jump.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Keep hold the end of that rope.
All right.
I'll look at you and I'll look at the contraption. I go, I think we were supposed to deploy this while falling, and now we have to hold it in all of its enormity for the rest of the time we want it for. Dilly, would you please demonstrate on top of a dude?
You can't fold it back together.
No. I don't think it was supposed to be.
It's a one-time thing.
It's a one-time.
Oh,
But if we just lug it around, it'll
Mercy's strong enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You wear a shield on your back.
Yeah.
Like you have wings.
Yeah, exactly.
I like mine. I've got my bat wings, and now you've got your wings.
See, we're both together that way. That's
Magic.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to jump, I mean, the wind's picking up.
Dilly gets on.
Throw
me up in the
I
air.
kind of pick you up and I just yob you.
You go all the way. No!
And you are just gliding on this thing. It's a very slow descent, especially with your weight on this. It's carrying you all. It's like watching a bird circling ahead, much like those carrion birds earlier.
I start pulling it down. I start pulling it down when you say that. I realize and think about what it could be marking. I pull you down.
Fair. Withdraw it, and indeed, and it comes back down. It's fairly lightweight, and it seems fairly sturdy. And for you were barely much weight on it at all.
So I reckon if any one of us wanted to do it, maybe not you, Mercy, but
Oh, I am terrified of heights, but I do my best. It seemed quite fun, though.
I had a great time. Can I do it again?
Imagine having the eyeglass while up there.
Run back. Throwing gold.
Okay.
You do notice that the company is in the process of pulling up their tents, and they're starting to repack to continue wherever their next journey would be. But the midday sun Still blocked by clouds, but brings a bit of necessary warmth to it. The break after the storm. It seems like now would be a good time to continue your trek.
Yeah.
And you're not that terribly far away. You have 1 mark left on the journey countdown.
To the tower?
Yeah, to the tower. And you can see it here. It's not too far off to where you can make out this massive, the spire-like mesa that is the long eroded island that once sat in the middle of this massive lake. At first glance as to how anyone even gets up or down from there. But from this point you can see there are structures around its base. Looks like battlements, walls, towers, and all manner of like small holes or balconies carved into the rock. You get the quick sense that there are likely pathways through this pillar that holds the tower itself. But among that also you see many groups moving around its base. As you begin this trek, you see Bowen kind of notably like getting a bit dry mouth before kind of glancing over to the rest of you. So, you're a very unique lot, definitely. What is it you're wanting here at the tower?
We came for Cagauma.
I'm interested in knowing if there's any sign of the prophet.
Oxudos?
Yes. If we could perhaps have an audience with him.
I'm just a lowly Templar. I'm not even a full exemplar on that myself, so I don't know how much aid I can offer there. I've not seen Oxudos myself, and I've been living at the tower my whole life. You might want to have a strong reason. If you're making these miracles again, make a miracle. Make them believe something. I think they keep Oxudos very safe. If he's even still around. He's around.
Bowen, what was your company's mission? And are you worried about returning?
I was sent as the accompanying Templar. This is part of my my rite of passage. It's becoming a full knight with this troop. We were traveling north to Renauldo before the bird found us on our return. We'd been gone for a few months. We were seeking texts of Xanthalos that were rumored to herald some prophecy surrounding Gereda and their doctrine. But unfortunately, such texts, they were already taken by a wandering evangelist of the Orford Smile far to the north, and the current leadership of Renauldo has cast off the faith of the Veiled Gods entirely, so they just gave it away. So we found nothing. And we returned empty-handed, only to be slaughtered. So I'm not excited to deliver this information to any of the Archons. What's at this city that you're looking for?
Hope.
Family. A chance of renewal. A chance of peace.
He kind of glances off to the tall, darkened shape of the tower. Peace. Come on. Who wants to see to this last leg of the journey?
Real quick, you said a Drodo? Is that a place we know of?
Edrodo.
And what are the names of the texts again?
Xanthalos, it was mentioned, and there were texts. So Xanthalos, you would know specifically, is the failed god of empathy and obsession. The symbol of Xanthalos commonly is an engraving of a lotus flower.
I'm happy to bounce along, leaping as I look about where the path goes, looking for little pockets of shelter, guiding us to the tower doors.
All right. You could make an instinct. Pardon me. An instinct roll. Just sometimes, body's gonna body. Make an instinct or a knowledge roll, your choice.
Instinct.
All right.
It's crit.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Take a hope and mark a stress away.
Go for it.
Learning the mechanics.
I keep forgetting something. Congrats. Yeah.
With flying colors at this point, there are two chasms that wind through this portion of the sands, and they tend to be abrupt when they approach. It's almost like you realize the dune is slipping before you're already starting to slip with the dune. But you see this coming a mile away, and without an issue, you guide the folks around. And you remember what makes a lot of these chasms, because you see far off movement beneath one of them, something shifting under the ground, almost causing the dunes to change shape and formation as it does so. But thankfully, you chose the northern trek on the opposite end and entirely avoid whatever this might have been. Stepping closer still, the midday gray sky framing the black monolith of this rising destination before you. You can now see, kind of off the edges of this beautiful obsidian and silver Gothic cathedral-like tower. There are numerous chains and winches that dangle off to the side, and what look to be platforms or cages that are slowly rising up or going down off of it, with figures inside, people traversing rapidly from the tower itself to the ground through these controlled elevator-like, uniquely terrifying means of travel. Among these various kind of balcony outcroppings from the actual rock pillar that holds it itself, you see ballista fixed. At its base, you see numerous towers that rise up with what look to be Templars or soldiers there at the ready with crossbows and longbows. There are small soldiers kind of patrolling around. This is an encampment. This is a militaristic boundary around the tower itself. You also look up as you get glimpses of more light, more detail as you draw ever closer. There are aspects of this tower that shift in color. There you see rows of green. And you realize that it looks almost like forests growing on some of the levels of this Gothic tower. A lot of interesting things happening here with the Tower of Oxudos. And you also recognize that as you can make out these details upon your approach, others have made the details out of yours. As a company of about 20 armored soldiers is marching straight for you. That's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, cool.
Oh my goodness.
It's Laura Bailey here to show you what we've got in the Critical Role shop. Why not pick this up? It looked great on you. You can never have too many dice. Take it from me. You know what we say, take a chance, roll the dice.
It's small, practical, and perfect. Just like me.
Our friends at Darrington Press have been hard at work. You see all the little details? So great. Oh, that's going straight in the cart. Like what you saw? Pop over to the Critical Role shop for all that and more.
I have to say something real quick.
Oh, season's greetings, Beacon Bits.
Good day, good day.
We now have a pop Welcome to Weird Kids.
Oh God, why did I put another one in my mouth?
For a while, it was really.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Oh, this? No, I found this on my own.
Oh. Letter.
To letters.
Get him! Get him! Kill!
And welcome back. So, you see this gathered troop of armored members of the Twilight Exemplars marching in your direction. Bowen, already kind of standing at your shoulder side, like, takes his helmet off and holds his shield up as a sign and looks at the rest of you as like a wordlessly, more or less, giving the idea of, like, present yourself safely.
I don't know. Yeah, I will have him go forward, of course, like in front of us to say anything.
I'll hold my staff to my side and try to stand tall.
Lean on my staff and do my best to look up kindly.
Yeah.
Diddy's on Mercy's shoulder, like just peering around, knowing that she will fuck it up if she says anything.
Badger's on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Doing the exact same thing, just smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just standing, sort of looking.
As they begin to approach, the soldiers have their massive tower shields at the front. Many of these soldiers are wearing just really heavy plate armor. You see amongst them there are 3 full exemplar with like the skull mask over the metallic helmet. Some are Templars, like what Bowen has, with like a kind of smaller skull-like shaping to the metal in the front, but the armor is a little more of like a banded plate than like a full heavy suit. And a few other like long pole arm holding kind of half armored figures that are more like standard soldiers under the banner, but they all march forward. And there is one central figure you can see who has a massive blade that almost like drags in the dirt behind them. It's so long as they walk and approach. Massive crested like metallic helm, almost comes to like a crown of fingers like that. And their other hand kind of on the side of their armor rests on what looks to be a massive metal and leather tome that is chained and swinging at the side of their hip as they approach. The one in the front with the tome and the sword raises his hand and everyone stops.
Who approaches the Tower of Oxudos?
And Bowen says,
Templar Bowen Archon, sole survivor of the expedition north. I apologize for the losses that were taken. I did my best.
And one in the front turns. Templar Bowen, things happen. We understand this part of what we are trying to do. That with the gods gone, even under their watch, journeys are not without sacrifices. There will be conversation to hear the tales of your journey. But who walks alongside you? As the head turns and scans the troop. Bowen goes,
These were travelers who came upon us the moments that we were under attack from a great terrible beast, a bird of quite hunger. Don't really, I trust them. They saved my life. I'm only here because they saved my life. They're seeking refuge within the tower and an audience with Oxudos.
Kind of like swallows it at the end. Some of the soldiers kind of almost seem to like react for the first time to that request. And the Archon turns the head.
These strangers, you say? The ones who stand in the place of those who are supposed to return with you. Arrive and ask to meet our holiest of prophets.
Seems an incongruent and tense series of events, doesn't it, Templar? And Bowen kind of lowers his head.
Yes, Archon, I understand. It's... I mean no ill will. This is all the information I have.
Looks to the rest of you and like...
I step forward and I place my hand on Bowen's shoulder.
It's okay. It's okay.
And I step to the side and I look at the leader of this troop, and
I know we are quite the odd crew over here. But I have heard of this prophet. I have heard of how he has survived the apostasy. I too have survived it, and I am seeking like-minded folks who lead with hope. And I also have found a relic back in the Luzal monastery that I would like the prophet to see and perhaps give me some guidance.
The rest of you? Do you walk with this ancient with the same purpose?
We follow and support.
At whose behest, then?
Our own.
What faith do you carry in your hearts? Do you walk under the light of Jareda?
I am a veiled sister.
So, Faithless, you bring Faithless into our tower? And Bowen goes, no, it's... They are amongst them walking miracles. Even if they don't carry a direct faith, they walk the path that can lead them to what light might take them. It is decreed by the edicts of Oxudos that we are to guide those to the light that need... And you see, like, the Archon puts their hand up, and Bowen balks and goes quiet. They reach over and take their massive helmet off, and you see as they do this, long tether of red hair kind of unwinds and falls down. You see a stoic, harshly intense, beautiful older elf woman with pale, nearly translucent skin. It's so powdery. Striking sky blue eyes and what looks to be a long tattooed mark of what looks to be a number of scripts across her face on one side. Her jaw is tight and her glance severe. Do you pass through, then? Do you wish to stay here at the base for a night under watch and guard, then be on your way? Or do you indeed seek to step into our hallowed halls that have stood all these decades by keeping blasphemy out?
I seek no ill will here. If Cagauma seeks an audience, the rest of us can wait. If it would mean peace for your brotherhood.
Bowen kind of steps forward and says, Archon, there are many dangers here in these lands, you know that, and I beseech you, as a Templar, stepping into my knighthood, under the watch of the veiled gods far and dreamily present, I give them at least a night to rest. They are ill. The marshes have taken their toll. It is hard out here at the base of the tower, you know this. See to them some means of recovery. At the very least in my father's name. The Archon kind of turns, looks at the rest of you.
Let's make a group presence roll.
Oh.
So it's a group presence roll. One of you, I will say, some of you have made some arguments and made some presentation. One of you will have to step forward here to make the final push for approval. Everyone else makes presence reaction rolls to adjust that final number.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He's got the
Who has the most compelling argument here?
I know, right?
So who's
I feel like,
who's
do any of us
guiding-
have a good presence? 'Cause
I'm -1.
Okay, I feel like your presence is probably the best.
one, but I.
Plus 0.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
minus
0
1.
too.
I have one.
I mean,
okay.
we seem like a.
I will. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will be. I will try to do the final push on this. I still have to roll though, right?
Eventually.
Okay,
But
go
first,
first.
I would like each of you...
Oh wait.
Oh no.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Do I?
Because you still have
I
-3.
still-
Yeah,
but
your
it's still
tummy
negative.
hurt.
And my tummy still hurt. But I'm gonna try to use it. I'm gonna try to use it. I'm gonna try to use it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to use it. Let's go. Yeah. So what do I do?
Should have washed our hands after making the mud pies.
Okay.
Do that.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, so I would like each of you to offer some argument for your presence, whether it be just a glance or a word or a phrase, and then roll your reaction roll. And we'll finish with you as the final.
Beautiful.
So, would like to go first?
I'll go first. Excuse me, lady with the cool hair. I promise we're not bad uns. I know we look funny, but we just want to do good in the world. Honest.
Make your presence reaction roll.
That's a 1.
Wait, how can you have a 1?
Because I got 4. Oh no, wait. 4. But a 3 with fear.
Okay. No fear and hope on a reaction roll, so just...
Okay.
or-
I'm like.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Shouldn't have swapped my dice.
I mean, if you got a hope, you could also try and do a tag team on this as well.
I definitely have a hope, and I will definitely use it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Tag team would be 3 hope.
Oh, that's true.
3.
I have enough hope for a tag team too.
I'll use mine. I'll use
Okay,
mine.
okay.
So 1, 2, 3, tag team on this.
So what this will do for the fun of this is that means both of you will be the final argument. So just the other two now present what those modifiers would
Oh
be.
wait, who's that? Wait, one more time.
So we'll get to you in just a
okay,
moment,
cool.
letting the other folks
So-
speak. So as you step back, you can see the Archon, as you've heard her refer to, kind of give a very withering turn of the head and a glance. Bowen kind of looks over to you.
Sister, the divine laws you follow in Oxudos is not the only divine law. As we look at the veiled gods, Jareda and Aratu, we have served to follow what it means to be one that endures through these sands, and to hold hope and loyalty. For I know the word myself. As I will pull down my sleeve in between my glove and reveal the same tattoo, like divine word, around the wrist.
Go ahead and make a presence reaction roll with advantage.
Sweet. And a sick tonic. Oh my gosh, I rolled so bad. You said presence?
Yes.
With advantage.
Yeah. -3, 11.
11.
This is good. That's
Start
good.
having me
That's
on a
better
curve,
than-
could you? Like, just like start moving it down a little.
No worries. All right. See, there is an acknowledgement and a micro reaction of surprise and curiosity.
I kind of look at the team. Every time she looks at me, my eyes go down, and I just say, mercy. When I first sought the warmth of kin, my approach was not met with welcome, but the jagged kiss of stone and iron. And as they struck me, they would scream a word to the uncaring heavens. Mercy. In my innocence, I thought they were naming me, not screaming for protection. We all here seek mercy. And for those of faith, that is what you grant. Yes?
Make a presence reaction roll with advantage.
$20.
Did you take your 3 away?
I only took 1 away.
Oh, right. So I'm the one that's 3. I know. Yeah.
And the two of you are doing a tag team, you said? All right, that means both of you make your arguments for the troop and its entry and safe passage, and then we'll do the roll after.
I have lived a very, very long life. And I have had the privilege and the honor to see how things were before all of this has corrupted all of us with fear and anger and shame. I am not excused by that. I have felt a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. And I think I'm ready. I'm ready to pass on. But I want to do it in my own terms. I want to be able to transition from this life to whatever else comes next. But not hunt those around me who love and care about me, but to nurture it. To be able to nurture the land, the garden, the forest that surround you. Not seek to destroy. It is my hope that us being here, just for the night, and by speaking to this prophet, I am able to fulfill that.
And she looks to you, sister.
We stand on the precipice of a new age of miracles. We are not the only ones who have seen that city on the horizon. And you bear witness to a walking miracle. This man came to us, our veiled sisters, seeking peace, a respite from the torment of his past. And yet, the lands gave him something new. Something even we sisters had not seen before. There are many great things ahead of us. I believe we can find it together.
I'd like you both to roll your separate presence rolls, and you both get to choose which of the two you prefer to share.
Ooh, can I spend a hope to add Shadow Sister to this?
Sure. How would you be applying Shadow Sister?
It would be as someone who has seen a great age behind us. I know death, as do they.
Love it. Go to recognition of historical trauma and wisdom entwined.
Oh, so close. Oh, wait. Oh, damn, I thought that was a crit.
I was very close to having one.
Okay.
But, it's right. Fuck. This is 11 minus 3.
17 with hope.
And let's do you. Let's
17
do
with hope.
Yeah.
17 with hope?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So both of you get a hope.
Yes.
She looks upon the rest of you, looks to Bowen, and Bowen, like his face begins to sink for a minute. You're ready to protect us. I'm Exemplar Archon Petra. You are guests, the Tower of Oxudos and the Prophet, for the night. You will find safety to rest at our sacred pyre, bereft of the corruption of the Umbra. Should you wish to walk a pious path from there, there are many places of worship, and with time, perhaps you could be a member of our community. But for now, we shall take your request. The Prophet can be fickle, and we make no promise. But at the least, know for now you are under the guidance of Dorada's chosen. Walk with us. Puts her helmet back on, turns about, and the whole retinue shifts and kind of opens to facilitate you to walk with them.
Oh my god. Jesus.
We all say that one.
God.
Fuck.
All right.
Thank you, red-haired lady. Thank you.
Moen kind of turns around and goes like,
Your father.
He was a Templar for many years before he gave his life for the tower. So I hope that held some weight.
So a knight by tradition.
Most are.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for helping me.
You did good. You did really good. I know that the last day has been a tough one. But know that you are doing your friends a great service.
You're doing them. You're doing them.
You're doing your friends.
It's like long.
I am 102, so sometimes it's like, and what am I saying?
You're doing your friends a good.
It's like right.
Right.
Of course. I appreciate that. Welcome home. As you all march through one of the front gates here, and you see the gates are built well from cobbled stone and what looks like transplanted bit of ruin from other parts of the Shallowlands. Some even looks like it may have been magically shaped. It's hard to tell. Elements look built and some looks like it's always been here, but this used to be underwater a century before. So this is interesting at the very least. The various guard towers that pass by, you can see armored figures just kind of keeping an eye down. This retinue, while it's surrounding you, and the Archon has given you permission under their banner to enter, there is still a very strong air of unwelcome. And you are very much the talk of the hour, as every figure that wanders the battlements and barracks on the outskirts of the tower base is very interested of your presence.
They're obsessed with us.
That'd be Xanthalos, actually. We got a obsession, but... You approach the edge of the base, and you can see there are these large, like, cavern entrances that are carved into it. And within there are barracks still. You can see there are all manner of soldiers and various other figures doing business, some that are currently building other entrances, other ones that are pulling and mining materials, and there are actually some other, like, mines built into this, almost like they've been utilizing and exploiting the resources of this one central rock pillar amongst a very dust-strewn space. Dust-strewn, not dust-strewn.
It's everywhere. Where are we stepping into?
And leads you up to a platform. It's about 20 feet up of just like rickety wooden stairs that creak with every step before you get to the top, and there are 3 guardian soldiers there and what looks to be some sort of a large chain wench. From there, the Archon gives a nod, and the person goes and releases this massive winding chain wench. It's like, and you look up as these 2 massive cages descend from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet up. As they just kind of rotate and creak louder and louder.
Like heights. I don't like heights.
Eventually, they both impact heavily. The whole platform shakes, and the soldiers kind of step back. 2 of the figures step out and open them. You all look inside. Each of these can fit maybe like 4 people. And the Archon gives a nudge and a nod. Steps into one of the cages. Bowen comes along with the Archon, and there's about enough room for the rest of you and a bat amongst the 2 of them.
As I'm heading into this cage, is there any way else of, like, do I notice anything? Or maybe when we're going up, I'll have a better idea. But I want to keep an eye out for if something were to happen at the top of this tower. Is this the only way out?
Okay, so you'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
What's your instinct?
+1.
+1, okay. So not too bad. As you all step into these cages, they feel pretty sturdy. The entryways closed, latched and held, and then they pull back on another one of these large, heavy, and it takes like effort to yank and click it into place as it begins to spin up, and the chains begin to pull and the cages lurch and begin to lift, and as they begin to lift, they begin to swing. And you watch as the base of the tower begins to slowly vanish beneath you. The shapes of the battlements and the various scattering soldiers becoming smaller, like ants. As the entire landscape around you, bits of mist shrouded in distant wind, the dust storm that blew through not long ago, far, far now to the southwest. This is a terrifying if beautiful view that continues to expand upon the horizon here. The cages begin to swing a little stronger. And you find yourself instinctively grabbing some of the edges or trying to get low towards the center. They kind of begin to slightly turn and rotate as the chains begin to pull up. The wind continues to kind of pull against it. One of them swings stronger, and they both kind of bang. Pulling up still, you look behind, and you have this now absolutely insane view of the Sallowlands before you. Which, to give you kind of a stronger perspective here, this is some initial breakdown view of it pre-city. So, whereas you started here in the Rust Saw Wood, you have come through this region here, down, and then to the Tower of Oxudos here, where you currently reside. Now, this is not to scale, of course. These are representative, and where Oathwell sits, the city itself, down in that direction before this map was constructed, since nobody has, built this map since before its development.
How big is the city in our view? Like,
Whoa!
That's huge.
Like,
Whoa.
it's big.
It's big.
But to that point in perspective.
Who did you just kill? That was you, wasn't it? No. It's a sign. It's foreshadowing.
Walk it off.
No,
Walk it off.
Your evasion's high enough.
Yeah.
But you also get a very unique glance. You don't get a full view of the city itself, as the massive pillar that you're currently going up on blocks the majority of it. But you can see on the right-hand side a clear view of what would be the western edge. And indeed, you can see many structures, buildings, towers, rivaling Amber Reach itself, reaching to the sky and clustered deeply. You can see the very edge of what looks like a body of water, like an inlet of some kind, here in the middle of the Sallowlands, which has not carried a body of water in 70 years. And you swear you can see shapes of things, two of them moving in and out of the clouds above. What appears to be an active volcano sitting on the southern edge of the mountain range that encircles its southern end.
What?
And you recall seeing 3 burning embers in the dark distance when you first got a view of it. If this is the far right ember, is this one of 3 active volcanoes? With even just this glance, the sheer immensity of this place continues to expand to a terrifying degree, especially for those of you who've not wandered far beyond this region of the Halcyon Domain. And right as your mind tries to wrap your head around it, you also become aware of how high up you are. As the cages begin to swing even heavier with the wind, it's hundreds of feet down to just hard rock and packed dust. Before the cages come to an end and swing. A large extending arm that the chains are latched to shifts over and brings the cage over a nearby platform before lowering onto it. Other soldiers and some sort of mechanic-looking figures with heavy leather aprons on reach forward and open the cage door to release you out. And here you stand on a rocky outskirt cliffside before a 100-foot black stone, silver-trimmed, Gothic tower stronghold. Layers and layers of long, thin, pointed roof peaks, each adorning intricately carved dark metal symbols of Jareda. The singular open hand you saw emblazoned on the symbol that was hanging around Bowen's neck, but in glorious detail, polished and gleaming against what little bit of light pushes through these clouds. all manner of stone carvings with hooded gargoyles and what look to be reaching saints, their arms up into the air, many of them damaged or weathered by windy storm and the intensity of just the surrounding weather of this landscape. There are balconies that push out beyond, some that are broken off, but others that remain, and right where you stand, aside from some kind of scaffolding-looking platforms built to extend to the outside of the stronghold where other figures are currently, looks like either repairing or constructing, maybe expanding on what little bit of landmass hasn't eroded away over time that holds this tower. Goodness knows if this tower will still be here in 100, 200 years with the rate that this platform of rock has been eroding over time. You can see signs of edges starting to crack and pull away. But here at the base, there is a massive, dark, cherry wood red gate. Double doors, one slightly open and ajar, as the exemplar Archon Petra turns to the rest of you. Welcome. Steps out of the cage and leads you to the interior of a time of safety.
I am so motion sick.
Tell me about it.
Cagauma, you smell like terror.
I feel quiet, terrified at this moment.
Is there a chance for us to heal a little bit of this situation that we got going on in this moment?
There's some quick inquiries and such. Petra says, if you require, we do have a number of herbalists and healers that work within the tower. I can find one who is not currently occupied, and perhaps they can help you recover from your illness. In the interim, I will show you two. I'm just going to think for a second. I will find out which chambers are available within the tower and show you to your rooms when the time has come. Just kind of looks about. What other business do you have here? Do you just seek rest?
Sister, I saw green from the ground. Do you have nature here?
We have quite a community that we must maintain. For that, we have repurposed much of this tower for the cultivation of resources.
Might I see it?
As you continue to walk through this tunnel with her, you breach the outer wall of the citadel, and as you step through, it opens up into the inside of this tower, which you see now has multiple smaller, tall towers within. It is a multi-tiered, this is a city, pretty much, a vertical city within this repurposed religious structure from the old world. And there are hundreds of people around you, densely packed, going about their business. All varying degrees of cleanliness, but all very intent and driven. Families gathering about, you hear the sound of tools repairing. This is a bustling community, just sitting solitary here above the Sallowlands. And in these layers of towers, you can see, indeed, there are whole plumes of vibrant green brush. You see there are folks out there with satchels and baskets along the edges, like ropes harnessed on them as they hang down the sides of towers to pick vegetables and other goods here to keep the community going. This is a self-contained space of safety. You also see, for every 3 structures that seem to maintain the community, every 4th is some form of place of worship. There are all manner of statues and altars and entire interior church beds to bring people together to maintain and give thanks for the faith that keeps them safe here under the watch of Jareda. And as you enter, hard-pressed for such an insular community to not take immediate notice and interest into a group of newfound strangers. As people continue to move, you can't help but notice every set of eyes as they walk by finds you before they go off to the rest of their business. You glance past the crowd, and everybody else in the middle of doing their work is looking over their shoulder at you. You see other soldiers doing their patrols along the various layers of the outer balcony strips and the halls that continue to line the interior of the outer wall, and all of them pass by, their heads turning, pinning you. You are under watch. Dreda brings you to the inner tower sanctum here, and asks you, if you wouldn't mind, give me some time to figure out where you will be staying for the evening. I will deliver your request for an audience with Oxudos. Until then, gather what supplies you need. Looks to Bowen. And do you have family still? Bowen goes, not, my parents have passed. Well then, make yourself useful. And continues into the inner chamber as Bowen kind of nods, and I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for your help. And good luck.
Thanks, Bowen.
Sorry for your loss.
Isn't that just how it is? And he kind of rushes off amongst the crowd and kind of like stops and looks back a little bit at you all again, and continues and kind of vanishes into the crowds that are now still storming. It has this very like dynamic, multi-tiered anthill-like energy to the inside of this citadel. What would you like to do?
Oh my god.
I would like to get a better look on the opposite side of this tower to look at where we're going. And I want to see what people's demeanors are as well as they look out. I'm curious if they're doing pilgrimages, like if they're having people leave. I'm wondering if the people here, the followers of Dreda, are against what this is, what it isn't. I'm curious to see how a society is looking at this. Especially, I also want to know the story of if they had a good view, did they all just wake up one day and it was there? Did they hear something? Did they feel something?
So, you're going to start making inquiries around the community and listening around to find these. So this is within the social environment of the Tower of Oxudos. This is one of the features. So go ahead and make a presence roll for me.
Hey, kid. He's got a lollipop and a little spinner on his hat.
What is it, mister?
Oh, wow. Holy cow, they gotta change dice. What is it?
Presence.
Sweet. That's gonna be a 16, because 19 minus 3, so 16.
6.
With hope.
With hope.
Boom.
So yeah, so with that, you can learn of 2 events or factions, and yeah. So which 2 questions do you want to ask?
Yeah, I will. I guess it would be.
I'll say, who do you find amongst the populace here, and what do you ask them?
There is an older gentleman. Has seen his skin is aged from the amount of sun that he's seen. He's clearly an expert in kind of repairing the sides of one of these buildings that kind of climb up. And it occurs to me that if anyone was to see what it looked like, what the landscape looked before and what it looked like after, it would be someone who worked high up and could see as much. So this gentleman,
he's currently getting off of a platform.
I go, hey. Oh, sorry. I'm new in town, and
I can see that.
I come from, the sands, or whatever you call it. And I didn't get a good look at that. Can I see it from here or no?
Where you kind of walked through the crowd, you've come to the other side, and there is a southern gate to this.
Mm-hmm.
It is closed.
Okay.
But on this side, it's a gate. It's like a massive portcullis gate, so you can still see through. And there is like another maybe 50 or so feet of like walk-in platform, and what looks to be like a small garden on the southern side, but you can see past it to some of, and indeed like with the dust storm blowing through, it's the clearest it's been since you began this journey. There's still like heavy cloud cover in the sky, but you can make out the city in the distance well enough.
When did that show up?
That, best I can recall, is about 3 months ago.
And it was just there?
Many of us just heard a noise, a great terrible cracking to the south, and when we looked where once there was just an expanse, there it was, just this city.
And he looks to it with like it's hard to tell if it's longing or fear, but it definitely trails off as he looks towards it.
But these are not things of my concern. I have too much to do.
You did a great job. Hey, was anyone sent to go check it out?
I'd say, best I understand, there have been a number of Templar troops sent, but I have not heard for what purpose or if they've returned. I'm not within the military. I am just one of the keepers of the tower's gate exterior. So I do not know such business. But I know that they have sent people there. We've seen them off.
He kind of leans in.
There are many that say that the city can grant wishes, yes. Have you been there?
I'm on my way. I'll let you know what it's like.
Okay.
I also heard they have fountains of gold and birds of diamonds. I'll let you know about that too.
I want to know what that is.
And he points out. And you see past the massive mountain before it vanishes into the clouds. There's like some other flashes and cracks of kind of distant lightning. And you see something emerge from the clouds, kind of gently drifting down into the city. And it looks like a ship.
What the fuck?
I'm like just holding
it. It looks like it's long with a bow, and it sails kind of, but it seems almost like it's clung to a some sort of an ovuloid shape. It just kind of drifts.
Is there like a trail of smoke behind it, or is it just the ship?
It's just this ship drifting down and then vanishes into the city.
I shake it off, kind of what I just saw. I guess one last thing. Is it getting any bigger?
Kind of glances out.
You know, I haven't put much thought to it. I don't... It is very beautiful. I don't know. But it is very beautiful.
And he just kind of smiles through his like wiry gray beard, his 3 visible teeth.
I should get back to work.
Yeah. Take pride in your work and this area. And where you have now. Don't worry about. I like walk away. I will go, and who do I tell this of all of you? Do I just grab you around? Yeah, I come back and I'm pacing kind of back and forth in front of you. Do I know what a ship is? Would I know what I even saw?
I mean, you know of ships, especially since, I would say, because this lake used to have a lot of water travel.
Right.
There are, like, derelict and withered ship carcasses throughout this Sallowlands that are occasionally repurposed and reused for, sometimes for housing, sometimes you just find them as you walk around, like pieces of the front of old boats that have just fallen out of disuse when there's no water to sail them. So you know of them, though you've probably never been on one.
And it was in the air.
It was in the air.
Great. I will move you all out of the way until I see both of you. And I will say, have you two seen boats before? In the old times?
Yes, I sailed one.
You sailed one?
Yes.
In the water or in the air?
The water, of course.
At any point does it go in the air?
No.
I don't believe so. No.
I don't want to alarm anybody. I think there is one in the air around where we're going.
An airship.
That's a great name for it.
An airship, how brilliant. I turned to look around.
Yes, one of those.
You said that it was above this city that we're looking for. Was it going in, out?
It was kind of circling around it. I saw it come out of some clouds.
Do you think there's perhaps some magic that could do such a thing?
Magic makes all things possible.
Maybe it did it on its own.
I would love to see this ship.
Me too. Why do you seem so concerned?
I asked a man if it was growing bigger. And he couldn't get past how beautiful it was. It was something uncanny. Something unnatural.
That is worrisome.
What?
That is worrisome.
I would agree. I understand the hope of finding some kind of reprieve from this way of life. But the way he looked at it.
As if he was enchanted by chance.
Something.
Sound of heavy armored footfalls approaching, and you see another Templar arriving, a younger-looking woman, maybe in her mid-20s or so, dark black hair with like a gray streak on one side, beautiful, just smooth brown skin with kind of a heavy mace on one side of her armor. Kind of walks up and goes, "Sorry to bother you. I'm Templar Coden. I was sent by Petra to bring you to one of our herbalists. Please."
Yes, we all have tummy aches.
Yes.
I think they can help you. Come along. And you are eventually brought to the herbalist, this like beautiful interior that is in itself its own small garden that contains all manner of strange layers of almost like if you turn shelving into flower beds, and then from that was just growing all these natural herbs that had an open view to the outside. What looks like what was once a window of a grand office had been repurposed, and now this area is just kind of overrun with vines and herbs, and it has that very earthy smell that is very welcoming.
I'm just going to run my fingers over all of the plants as we walk by.
You see a very, very gnarled thumb of a woman, I guess you could say. This ancient dwarven woman of wild white kind of mermaid hair that halos her body. Her face her face seems to be caught in a perpetual grimace between these large glasses that sit. And on her desk, you see this tiny altar to Jareda that she currently kind of has a hand over and is just kind of quietly muttering to herself as you enter. She kind of turns and goes, "Ha! You came for the tummy aches, right?"
We drink a lot of bog water. At least I did. I don't know what's wrong with you.
You should not drink the bog water.
Now I know that.
I get you some tea. And she sits up and kind of waddles over to this little tea kettle and begins to pour it for you all. And it is... The taste is oddly floral. It is something that it has a perfumey texture, scent to it. It has a gritty texture. You almost like, as you sip, you can kind of feel something on your teeth that grinds when you bite down, and you're not sure what it is, but it does still warm you from the inside. It doesn't take too long for that sickness to finally pass. It recedes and is gone. So you can remove your sickness dice.
What is your name?
My name is Lorraine, and I come from a long generation of holy herbalists beneath the ordinance, and now the great prophet Oxudos.
This is a wonderful tea.
I hope it's wonderful.
What herbs are in it?
Oh, the theorin leaf. This is to help quell any sort of nausea. If you go ahead and take a few thunderbrays, they're a bit burry if you don't break them down, but the dust itself, it helps settle inside indigestion. And then for toxins that have worked into the blood, I put a few strands of lemongrass horsehair burr, and what it does is it helps just kind of slow the breathing down for just a moment, and then helps purify the system in a moment like... And as she puts her hand up, all you feel is like... this like strange, almost bass-like thrum in your body, and that is what finally you feel the toxins kind of expelled, and you all begin to sweat profusely. Sweat that has a bit of a color to it, like a faint... kind of a greenish yellow tint, and you all kind of, it's somewhat oily, and she goes, see there, that is faith and holy miracles. And she goes and picks up a thick piece of cloth and starts like wiping you down like a window wiper. Yeah. She seems way too into this.
Thanks.
Did Dilly take the potion even though she wasn't sick?
Did she? I asked you.
I think she did, just because she forgot.
She's going through cleaning everyone else off. You're still sweating, but it's coming out clear, and you really have to pee suddenly. She was like, oh dear. Did it not work? I can make you some more.
I'm all right. It's fine. I forgot that I actually didn't have tummy ache. I just didn't want to be left out.
There. And then she drinks it herself.
What color is her sweat?
Actually comes out kind of brownish a few minutes ago.
I'm not
but you also watch as she like quietly hides what looks like a brackish bottle of liquor under her counter.
Nice.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. How long are you here to stay?
Only for the evening.
Yes. Oh, shame. We like new folks. We like new faiths. Oh, happy to have you while we can. If you need anything any further,
You said you've worked under the prophet. Have you met this prophet?
Make a presence roll for me if you don't mind.
It's a 4 plus 1, so 5 with hope.
So take a hope. Okay. She kind of goes, I've not in many years. The prophet is of great import. Kind of like sits down in the chair a bit.
The prophet is a great man and has much to do, very busy. But no, I have not seen the prophet since I was a younger girl.
Was he kind?
He was... You see kind of her eyes glow wide. He was driven. He was a being of fire and confidence. Where he walked, the edict carved its way into our souls, and as such we found order, and we found family, we found safety. Oxudos is the one that walks with the light of Jareda, and as such, and kind of puts her arms out to all the herbs here and to the window beyond and goes, Here we live. We live with a sliver of the old world away from all desolation.
So, do you know if there's an intention to, perhaps, help heal outside of these walls?
So with a moment, she kind of stares down and goes,
I've been helpful, I think, to the extent of my duties for the day. I thank you for your presence, but I have to usher you.
And like she's giving you this look like your line of questioning is making her uncomfortable. I need you to mark a stress for that failed roll earlier.
But hope you're all feeling better.
It's like the lines of sweat begin to go down her face as well, and eventually kind of pushes you out of her chambers. And
Can I gather from what we've seen, are the plants growing here just in pots, or is there like an area that it's like an indoor forest sort of a vibe?
From what you've seen walking around, the areas where things, there are like small patches of garden and some trees in the like courtyard. As soon as you came in from the exterior walls, there are some trees that grow there. There is grass and patches of dirt, but a lot of these areas like that look like they're remnants of the old world that have just been maintained.
Okay.
Everything else you've seen has been intentionally built and expanded upon. So like the rows of what I mentioned earlier, kind of like the flower boxes and like the long areas of cultivated vegetation that you would see being picked, that looks like dirt has been brought in, and areas have been expanded and structures have been built upon to facilitate layered farmland within portions of the actual tower itself.
Can I find one of the more grassy patches where the trees are growing?
Sure. So you kind of head back down through the crowd, kind of pushing into the main courtyard area, and here, like as you walk through, there's all manner of small shops and little hovels and homesteads. You can see there are like teachers walking with groups of children and reading from books as they walk, just speaking on the various hymns and the great left edict of Oxudos, speaking phrases on the majesty of the great light of judgment will carry us on for days upon end. This light is within each of you and carried from parent to child. This edict, these words of the great veiled gods left behind us, they keep us safe. Like you must keep us safe at all costs. We are the only bastion of true honesty here in the domain, unscathed and uncorrupted. And as you walk past, kind of takes the book back a bit. All the kids kind of look and stare. Some of them look a bit spooked and kind of hide behind others. And it is with the absence of strangers, we know our walls remain unbreached and untainted. Continues to read the book, and the children begin to follow behind. There is definitive tension that seems to follow like a cloud. But the city is still yours to explore for the time.
I would like to gather you for a moment. before meeting all of you, I worked as a Dilver at the Luzal Monastery for many years, seeking a holy relic that could perhaps turn the tides. And when I found it and shared that information with the scholars, I overheard them say things with ill intent, because they do not want things to change. And I'm a little concerned that perhaps this prophet might be similar in thinking. And I am a little afraid in sharing the relic that I brought. I don't feel safe right now, and I'm not sure if I do want to meet him.
You are not alone in feeling that.
I'm going to spend a fear.
Oh, no.
You hear shouts. Something yells, and you glance over in that direction, and you see someone moving through the crowd. You see a male elf, young, maybe in his 30s, robed, running and pushing through the crowd over his shoulder and rushing, no, trying to get by. The crowd kind of like closes in to keep him. He's like, no, I need it. At which point you watch as two exemplars rush up behind and grab him, and he's like, Gah! They pull him back and throw him onto his knees there, and one of them says, down there, heretic. And it's like, I did nothing. I swear, there's a misunderstanding. I don't. It's like, you have been found with dark texts. You have been found with words that would blaspheme. You have been insulating others with lies, have you not? It kind of looks out to the crowd, like specifically towards one person. You see this like young woman who kind of like shakes her head and just vanishes into the crowd and disappears behind. You seem like something in his heart kind of break. He goes, I didn't. And the other one looks back and says, like, close your mind, Horizon Speaker. We know you've been distilling these lies to erode our faith. And from that point, both of them look over as coming from one of the central towers, the exemplar Archon Petra, who had guided you in here, kind of at a hurried glance, walks up with two of her other Templar companions and says, I've been called to see the heretic. We believe that this has been an individual spreading the word of the horizons, undermining our work. And you see the Petra walks up, gets down on one knee and looks into his face, kind of lifts his chin with her massive gauntlet in her hand and goes, have you been poisoning the minds of our sacred space? And he looks, You watch as her hand kind of flares with a light and burns into his face. And he screams, ah! Smoke kind of burns up, and as she pulls the hand away, he falls. She goes, falsehoods burn the flesh. And she stands up. In the light of Doreda, you are judged. Exile. Take him. And the two other exemplars lift him up off her arms, and they start bringing him towards the gate where you were earlier. Other soldiers open the gate behind. It's like, okay, I'm not. And as they begin dragging him through the gate, he shouts, "This is a false faith! They're out there! Ask for the truths! All will crumble, but with a new light we will find!" And they throw him from the arch. The gates close, and the stillness of the populace returns to their lively business like nothing had happened. And that's going to finish this episode.
Oh, what? I was like, we need to go.
So, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us, and is it Thursday yet? Stick around for the cooldown if you'd like.
That episode lasted like 2 minutes. What?
Good thing we have that parachute bird.
Yeah.
I got him. Let's go.
All 5 of us.
Oh my god.